Hello from the library. This video will give you some helpful tips for completing your research paper in English 101. For this assignment, you can use the library website to find print and article sources. Let's begin with journal articles. Let's begin on the library homepage. By scrolling down, you'll see a button that says Access Databases. Here is where you can find links for all of our article databases. We'll begin with one called Academic Search Premier, which is a huge collection of articles from many different types of sources covering many topics. You can click on the link here or in General Magazines and Journals to access Academic Search Premier. There's space at the top to type in your search words, as well as some options. Here is where you can limit to peer-reviewed journal articles. So you'll want to check this box when it's time to find your peer-reviewed article. You can also limit by publication date to make sure you're getting the most up-to-date information. For example, I can put January 2015 to ensure that all of the articles that I will find were published within the last 5 years. By leaving this one blank, I'm implying that I'd like results up until the present day. These spaces at the top are where I can type in my keywords. It's a good idea to have some alternate terms as well, or synonyms for the words that you're searching. For example, if I'm looking at college education, the cost of the education, and whether or not it should be free, words like college tuition come to mind, student loan debt, those are all related to college tuition. So I can start typing something in like free college, and as you can see, it'll start to give me some suggestions. Free college tuition, free college education, free community college tuition, so many different combinations of those words. Let's try free college tuition. Then we'll click the search button. And as you can see, there are 66 articles that were published in the last 5 years from peer-reviewed journal articles. The Reality of Free Community College Tuition from 2015. Here's one that was published October 2019, Helping Students Keep the Promise, exploring how Kalamazoo Promise Scholars' basic needs, motivation, and engagement correlate to performance and persistence in a 4-year institution. And as you can see from the subjects, this talks about tuition-free universities and colleges. Summer 2016 is free tuition working. Let's take a closer look at that first result. Helping Students Keep the Promise, exploring how Kalamazoo Promise Scholars' basic needs, motivation, and engagement correlate to performance and persistence in a 4-year institution. I've opened it up, and there's some important information listed here. For example, the authors of the article, the source, Innovative Higher Education, and an abstract, which is a nice short summary of the article. So you can read this first to figure out if the article is something that you want to read further and possibly include as a source in your paper. Before I actually open the article, let's talk a little bit about characteristics of peer-reviewed articles. These are some characteristics of academic journal articles. They're longer and mostly text, and they include a list of references and in-text citations. Sometimes they include graphs and charts, and sometimes they describe a study or an experiment. You may also hear the term peer review. Peer-reviewed articles are reviewed by experts in the same subject area before they're published. It's a way to ensure quality and credibility of sources, and you can limit results to peer review in many of our databases, as we did with the previous search. Now that we've reviewed the characteristics of peer-reviewed journal articles, let's open it up, and you can look for the PDF full text icon on the left side of the screen. Here you'll be able to read the full article. It gives you some background on each of the authors, as well as contact information if you wanted to get in touch. And as you can see, the article is long, it's 18 pages, it is very text heavy, and it includes many in-text citations to previous studies. And all of these dates and author names are in-text citations that would refer you to the sources that these authors used to write the paper. So as I scroll, you'll see it looks like they did a study of a group of students. Here are the research questions that they asked, so why they decided to carry out the study. They describe the site and sample, so it was Western Michigan University. And here it talks about how they gathered data. Here are the charts and graphs that I mentioned earlier that are oftentimes included in peer-reviewed articles. And it's okay to skim that. What you really want to focus on is the findings and discussion, which will tell you exactly what they found as a result of the study. And finally, as I scroll to the end, you'll see a long list of references that they used to create this article. So if this is a peer-reviewed article that you think is helpful and relevant to your topic, and you can use evidence from this to support your own argument, there are a few ways to save this article. You can download it. You can email it to yourself using the email tool. Simply type in your email address here. Or you can get a link back to the article by clicking on this permalink tool right here. And you can copy and paste this link at the top, and this will make sure that it leads right back to this article. Finally, there's a cite tool that's built into our databases. And by clicking on cite, it will generate citations in all different formats, and you can scroll to find MLA. And then what you can do is copy and paste the MLA works cited entry right into your paper, your works cited page, which will be the last page of the paper. You can paste that there, and this is a great start for crafting those MLA citations. Now let's talk about some other types of print sources. For example, newspaper and magazine articles, which you can find through the library's website as well. We have many newspaper databases. We also have the option of creating a free New York Times account on our website. And finally, we have special databases like Opposing Viewpoints that organize magazine and newspaper articles around specific topics. So we're back on the library databases page, and there are many links here that can help you complete this portion of the assignment. So let's talk about magazine and newspaper article databases now. One thing you can do is use one of our newspaper databases, and as you can see here, many of the titles that we subscribe to are listed, such as the Hartford Courant, New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, the Waterbury Republican American, and even our own publication, the Tamarack. We also have the option to create a free New York Times account to use on their website. This is free for all students, staff, and faculty. And if you click on this free web access link, it will bring you to the page where you sign up for the account using your school email address. Another way that you can find magazine and newspaper articles is by using a database like Opposing Viewpoints or Issues and Controversies. So let's take a quick look at Opposing Viewpoints. And this is a helpful database for this type of research because it's organized around different topics, debatable issues, current events, and things like that. And there's likely a topic page for the issue that you've chosen to write your paper about. So if we click on Browse Issues and browse all of the issues that are included in this database, and there are quite a few, or you can type into the search bar, college tuition. So let's take a look at the topic page for college tuition and student loans. Because articles that report on the high cost of college and the many students who take out loans to pay their tuition, articles about that would likely help you craft an argument about whether or not college should be free. And as you can see, they have different types of sources, including things like videos, images, and audio. And what I can do is find news or newspaper articles. There are 7,000 newspaper articles, or magazine articles. Full tuition funding frees graduates to pursue public service career. That's the first one that came up. It's very recent. It was published in summer 2020. And let's take a closer look at this magazine article. It was published in Foreign Policy magazine from summer 2020. Now, it's much shorter than the peer-reviewed article that we looked at earlier. And it also comes with an MLA citation that you can copy and paste into your paper. And again, you can go back and use the newspaper limiter as well if you are interested in newspaper articles, or you could search in any one of our newspaper database, including the New York Times website. As a reminder, you can use database tools to save, email, and create MLA citations for any articles that you find. And librarians as well are here to help with every step of the process. You can chat with us, text us, email us, or book a virtual research appointment on the library homepage. Thanks for watching.